May it please the court?
Yes.
Today's case is about two best friends in a tragic accident. You see, the plaintiff in today's case has just gotten up and told you that today's case is about a cold and calculated killer. But that's not the truth. You're going to hear today that today's case is just about two friends that got along well. You see, the story starts long before August 18th, 2010. The story begins back in 2005. That's when the plaintiff's family moves right next door to the defendant in today's case, Hayden Duran, and her daughter, Jessie Duran. The plaintiff's family has a daughter too. Their daughter's name is Sydney Park. Sydney Park and Jessie Duran, the defendant's daughter, are both about the same age. They're both only 5 years old. They become best friends and they play games just like any other best friends would. They love playing water guns in their front yard. They love splashing each other with water. And you're going to hear from a neighbor in today's case that sees that they're always playing together. These kids, they grow up right next door to each other. And in 2010, these kids are still best friends. They're still playing together. They both enjoy playing different games together. And again, we're going to hear from that same neighbor that he always sees them playing together in their front yard. In 2010, that's whenever the plaintiff's family decides to buy a gun. They purchase a gun and they keep it in their house. Jessie and Sydney are always over at each other's houses. Jessie and Sydney are always playing together at the plaintiff's house. And in that summer of August 2010, it starts just like any other summer. The kids are playing together. They're over at the plaintiff's house on August 18th, 2010. And that's whenever they decide to go play with the gun that they keep in the house. Two kids, they find the gun and they play with it, and then an accident happens, and Sydney passes away. A neighbor, as you're going to hear from today's trial, hears a gunshot and comes over to the house. And once that neighbor comes into the house, he sees Sydney's laying on the ground. That neighbor then turns around and sees Jessie. Jessie looks shocked. Jessie looks frightened. And when that neighbor asked Jessie exactly what happened, Jessie burst into tears. You see, Jessie loses his best friend that day. And you're going to hear that in today's trial. The plaintiff has a burden in today's trial. They have to show you by a preponderance of the evidence their case. They have to show you more likely than not. They have to show you that it's more likely that Jessie shot his best friend than it was that it was simply an accident. Today's case, we're going to ask you to find the defendant. We're going to ask you to find the defendant, Hayden Duran, not liable. Thank you.
All right, are we ready to proceed?